Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye-ya. Bye-ya. Orale. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, yes, indeedy, I'm about to write some graffiti on the bus. Dum, dum, dum. 100 deep. Gil wasn't playing, man. American Cholo was not playing, right? And I don't blame him. In this instance, in a Menudo style direct fashion, I don't blame the vato, right? When you're going into the unknown, when you're going into a place where they've already disrespected you, they've already spoken on your name, they've already chopped and screwed and took tidbits of things that you've said in the past, man, and flipped it to their advantage, what would you expect, gente? Shit, I'm coming 400 deep. You know what I mean? Fuck the bullshit. Now, yesterday, American Cholo pulled up to No Jumper. And he pulled up to No Jumper with a whole bunch of camaradas and a whole bunch of people of like-mindedness and a whole bunch of gente that had his back, right? And there was two reasons for that. One, because people got his back, man. The raza stuck together on that one. They showed the gente, hey, if you want one fight with one bean, you got to fight the whole burrito, right? The old saying rang true, right? But also more than that, they said it with the chest, right? What meant more than that than anything was the way that they pulled up, okay? People weren't expecting these vatos to pull up or the raza to pull up as a collective, as one, homes. One big group showing face, homes, showing, hey, we ain't fucking around, bro. If you talk about one vato, homes, and you try to misconstrue things and try to put out the wrong narrative, vatos will pull up and they will pull up deep, right? And I think that was a great showing. I think that was a great thing. And it doesn't mean that a man as a grown man can't handle his business by himself. Oh, obviously, I'm sure Gil could do that and anyone else would do that. Anyone who's righteous would pull up, okay? But in this instance, and for this one time and one time only, I think he did absolutely the correct thing by pulling up in full force, by showing the gente, man, that people got his back, homes, that we are tired of the bullshit, homes, okay? Now, of course, Adam wasn't there. I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised Adam wasn't there. That's the way it is on certain platforms and certain places. People feel like their britches are just a little too, their khakis are a little too bit bigger. Their Ben Davises are just a little bit bigger than others, right? Where they don't have to be there. They'll let the B team handle it, man, because the A team's out there fucking saving the world. That's it, right? But let me tell you, that's neither here nor there. The fact that American Cholo pulled up to say his piece and to hold it down, you know what I mean, meant something. It was a big thing. Now, I listened to him and Bozo speak at this meeting right there on No Jumper, and they were both absolutely correct in the fact that it was bigger than one man. Okay? I don't think Adam quite realized that. When Adam got on the line, and he started becoming high power a little bit, and he tried to talk about being a journalist and journalism and everything that Gil says or everything that anyone says can be misconstrued and that you need to carry yourself to a certain standard. And he's absolutely correct. You do need to carry yourself to a certain standards, be humble, be consistent, have respect for others. But at the same time, homes, right? In this instance, in this one thing, with Adam taking it out of context and taking these bits and pieces of what American Cholo said and flipping it to rock to his narrative, it could be bigger than just one or two men, okay? It could cause something much larger in Southern California, Northern California, California, period. Why? Because when you're dealing with racial aspects and racial issues and trying to make another man look, like he's against one certain group, it spills over into the streets. It becomes a street thing. And if it becomes a street thing, it can absolutely become a fucking prison thing. Okay? Everybody is watching. Everybody's watching this one right now. Everybody's paying attention to what's going on around them in the streets. Because the streets is what dictates attitudes. Attitudes are what dictates style. Style is what dictates what's going to happen the next day. The next day, what's going to dictate what might not ever happen again. Because motherfuckers ain't playing. People are not going to let it go that route where it gets a little icky, sticky, and tricky, right? Motherfuckers got some tricky dance moves. Orale. And in that fashion, right? So I believe Bozo and American Cholo Gil were absolutely correct in what they were putting out there and what they were saying. You know, it can become much larger. I don't think Adam got it. Okay, I don't think Adam sees it that way. And again, that goes to becoming a cult. That goes back to what I said yesterday about being a culture vulture and not really being in them streets and not really knowing, you know, how deep this shit goes, the underlying issues, how this can go a whole different route, how this can get one or two people whispering and buzzing, cousin. You know what I mean? You got to remember, all this stemmed from a damn fucking music video. Okay? All this stemmed from American Cholo voicing his opinion on certain situations. And then, of course, Adam feeling some type of way, thinking that he's backing up his homeboys. And instead of questioning it and instead of challenging Gil to a debate or invite him to the platform, which he ultimately did anyways, and let him know what was up, he chose to take a few snippets of, you know, past shows that Gil's had and flip it to misconstrue it to his advantage. Now, yesterday, about the same time that this American Cholo platform, this No Jumper platform was hosting American Cholo and the 100 fucking vatos he brought with him righteously, right? And I commend them vatos for having his back. I commend them vatos for having the back of the calles. I commend them vatos for having the back of the raza, right? And I commend them vatos for having the back of what's right. Okay, what's righteous. At the same time that this was going on, I was holding it down right here on Gunners Collective, having my own live with one Mr. Cartoon, that 5'3" Avalon, right? Another critic of American Cholos that actually voiced his opinion just based on some of them things Adam said. Do you see how it got to the streets that fast? Something that Adam and No Jumper would say that he wasn't too aware of or wasn't too fucking up to par and up to game on, got to the streets. And of course you had an OG Crip from Avalon's who's very influential with his people, man. When I went into his live, he had 200-300 people. I went into his live. I invited him to my live so that we could not debate, but so that we could talk about it, so that we could discuss it. And like I said right from the gate, man, I didn't do it to have Gil's back or to say anything. I had it to have what's right is right's back and what's wrong is wrong, right? I felt that if for no other reason, while Gil was holding it down over there in the Sur Califas, man, over there at No Jumper, and putting it down for the raza and backing his play up, and doing what's good for the greater good of the people, right? Because it affects all people, myself included, right? That I had to hold it down from my side, and let it be known that maybe some of those things that Adam said were misconstrued, man, and maybe the homeboy needed to take a second look, to which he did, man. And I think we had a great conversation. If you haven't tapped in, make sure you tap into the live from yesterday, the Black and Brown. Let's discuss it, right? Because me and an OG Crip from Avalon actually discussed it, man. And we came to, we had a great conversation. Put it like that. Menudo. You know what I mean? Oh, power, or on correct. However you want to call it, man. We had a great conversation. Now, that was just my part of the puzzle. That was me doing my part, not because I have to or because I want to, because I felt that it was needed. Okay, it was needed. Now, like I said, man, I don't just defend other men. I don't defend strange grown men because that's never been my forte. It's never been my style. But one thing that has always been my style is to defend the greater good of the raza, the people, and what's righteous. Okay, and I felt that Gil and Bozo did that yesterday. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, why'd they have to pull up so deep? A show of force sometimes is needed in this world. Sometimes when you have an army, you have manpower, you have soldados behind them, that makes the next man think, oh shit, right? I didn't know these vatos had it like that. You better recognize, Holmes, that was only a chip off the iceberg. That was only the beginning, I say. You know what I mean? Raza is learning to stick together. And I think a lot of the things Gil said back in the past about BLM, he was saying that they were showing a force. He was saying exactly what I'm saying now, is that they were showing a force. They were coming together as a people. They were out there pushing that pavement. They were out there rocking their narrative. They were out there getting doors open so that way they could establish exactly what they felt they needed. Okay, and he felt that the raza should do the same thing. And I think now with his hashtag CaliMac and everything that else is going on, and a lot of the raza up north, man, coming together as a people, I think we are actually finally coming together as a gente, as a people. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean Norte and Sur coming together. You know, they're going to establish that in prison as they go, man. We have no say-so in that, okay? What's righteous is righteous. Them are grown men in there. Them are men living in a different world. They'll handle their business how they handle it. But as far as out here on the guys, it takes people like myself, Gil, Bozo, Rojo, Dubs, individuals with platforms, man, to establish for the gente. Not necessarily just in the YouTube game, also out there on the calles. There's a lot of people pushing the Chicanismo movement, the Brown Beret movement. You know, a lot of different movements out there for the gente. There's a lot of different avenues you could travel down. You just got to fucking inquire and be up to par and up on game. But as far as Adam, let's get back to Adam. The White Devil's what they called him. They called him that themselves. He wasn't present. You know, his voice was felt over the airways, but he wasn't there. Now, that leads me to believe two things. One, he just doesn't really give a shit. Okay, like I said, that's the culture vulture at his finest. He just doesn't give a shit. How are you going to invite someone that you spoke on, someone the caliber of Gil's, American Cholo's platform, and they're going to pull up in full force and show up, and you not be there? That means you disrespected that man by not being there, Holmes, by not giving him the time of day, by not giving him a few minutes of your time that you had other shit to do. It's like, man, fuck it. You know what I mean? Again, that leads to showing no respect for the raza and showing no respect for that man. Okay? And I'm sure he took it the same way, but I'm not going to speak for him. I'm sure he'll push out there exactly how he feels. Two, you scared than a motherfucker, right? Okay? Are you so scared they deep over there? Shit, these Mexicans pulled up about 100 deep, bro. What? For real, yeah, these Mexicans, they came deep than a motherfucker, right? Shit, there's fools, they're in there smoking. I thought the policy was no weed, because these motherfuckers is in there blowing, right? I ain't gonna tell them shit, though. Everything they say, I agree. You know what I mean? Hey, do we still got those coupons for the... Yeah, no, I don't think they ain't fucking with they ain't fucking with Taco Bell, right? Brothers pulled up deep. Mexicans pulled up deep, man. Camaradas pulled up real deep, okay? And that's just the way it is. And like I said, I believe it was a great thing. I believe it was the new show of force. I believe it was the new way of doing things, okay? I also understand, and I know that being a man is being a man, and there's some places where you just got to pull up on your lonesome. You got to pull up on your bolo. You know what I mean? You got to pull up on your only and handle your business. But this wasn't one of those times. Like I said, I got to totally agree with exactly the way this shit went down. The only thing I don't agree with is Adam not being there. I think that was a fucking slap in the face. I think that was highly disrespectful. And then, of course, he kept trying to justify why he chopped and screwed this man's words. These are this man's words, okay, that were taken out of context. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never, ever agreed with American Cholo on a lot of things. This is probably the first time that I'm agreeing with them on certain aspects of the game, right? And it's not because I felt he was racist or because I felt he was prejudiced or because I felt he was one way or the other. It's, we had words amongst us that, can never be taken back, that need to be dealt with how they need to be dealt with. And that's that. Not necessarily physically, but maybe a phone conversation, and that could be that. Two guys with great minds could handle business, man. We could figure it out, right? But it's neither here nor there. Like I said, he's not feeling it, and I'm definitely not feeling it, man. I'm not throwing motherfucking a lifeline out there, and I'm sure he's not as well. But I think we do agree on the greater good of the raza. We agree on the greater good of the gente. So in that case, man, I'm willing to be the bigger man and say, you did that, Gil. Gracias, Holmes. Gracias for taking the initiative and being that one to handle your business. But, no, Wes Watson, no, put it up your butt. I said but, right? People like Adam, these bigger platforms, Holmes, that hold the fucking llaves, that can basically open doors or close them for the raza, man. It's time for us to step up our game, Holmes. It's time for people like you, American Cholo, to be that platform for the raza. It's time for people like me to be that platform for the raza. We don't need these other fucking channels, Holmes, to dictate our programs or to help us out. That's what puts us in this bind in the first place. People are always like, hey, you guys are always asking for help. You guys need help. We don't need shit from anyone, Holmes. You know what we need? We need to be brown and prosper. And that's it, Holmes. And those are two things, Holmes, that I don't think we're not going to do. You know what I mean? Straight up. Like an alcoholic comes, fill me up, right? I can't call it. But one thing I do know that's for sure is I commend the way everybody pulled up yesterday, and I tripped out on it. I tripped out on it because I expected Adam to be there. I expected No Jumper to hold it down professionally like they do. And I will say, man, to AD, Duno, and the ones that were there, respects, man. Respects. I know it was blowing their mind. AD was like, there's a whole lot of Mexicans around this camp, right? But him being from them LA streets, him from being from the, that area, he's used to Chicanos. He's used to the raza, right? So I don't think it was nothing new to him. I think it was just the way that everybody pulled up, and like I said, I wouldn't expect nothing less from Gil coming like that, showing force and showing unity. That's a show of unity. That's showing people that people have his back, man. People are believing in what he's out there talking about. Just like people are believing in what I'm talking about, okay? That's why I had over 650 people on my live yesterday, because they're believing. People want to believe, man. People want to see greater fucking good. People want to see bigger heads prevail. You know what I mean? So, I got 2 big ones, so I'm winning. Bang, bang, right? But this is what they want in life. Not everybody wants drama. Not everybody wants bullshit, man. Because just like what Adam does not understand, and like I'll reiterate right now, but I've said it before, is it becomes bigger than 1 or 2 men talking shit about each other. It becomes bigger, and I don't even know why Adam poked his fucking big old pointy nose into the mix to disrespect you in the first place, when he could have easily picked up a phone like he did the second time, man, and invite him to a platform and debate and discuss, right? Because when you do things like that, man, and you get people to thinking like the homeboy cartoon was, you get people to thinking that Gil's a racist and that everyone around him feel the same way, or that the other vatos that were on the fucking channel with him at that particular time were also voicing their opinion in the negative or in the fucking, talking shit about the Africano community. Then what does that do? That spills out into the streets. All it takes is one person to fire a shot, man, and then everyone's gonna start popping. Once you pop, you can't stop, like Lays, you feel me? And then, like I said, man, once it gets into the prison system, man, and bigger fucking fish start to fry shit, bang, bang, then there's a whole lot more Mexicans, right? And brothers. And it's just an ugly situation. It's something that we don't want to go down that route. We've worked so hard to get away from that. That one thing can become bigger, all because someone like Adam and, wants to talk a little shit. It's okay to talk a little shit. I think you want to talk a little shit. But when you have action to pick up a phone and talk shit to a man's face, that's the measure of a real man. That's what a real man does. Say it to my face. Say it to my face, right? And in that fashion, and say it with your chest too. Like Wes Watson says, since you're saying it with your face. Anyways, with that being said, gente, pulling up 100 strong, 100 deep, I thought it was the righteous thing to do. You tell me how you feel in this situation. Do you think it was petty? Do you think it was overkill? Do you think it was too much? Do you think it was right on time? I, myself, believe it was right on time, and I believe a fucking show of force is how we have to do it nowadays, man. We got to let people know that we're going to stand 10 toes down in the concrete for what we truly believe in, and that's the coming together of all people. And to defend one man's honor and one man's word, you know what I mean? I know if there's some fucking people out there chopping, screwing shit with me, and they've done it many a times, man, where they're trying to make it look like I'm from somewhere I'm not, or I've done or said something I haven't. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. It's called putting words in another motherfucker's mouth, man. And when you have someone that has fucking a platform and is dependent upon by people, man, to rock a good narrative, man, and you're trying to make them look bad. So I can understand coming up and pulling up, you know what I mean? I got 100 homeboys on standby myself, so I was scared. Anytime in any place, we will pull up and show out, right? And that's just what it is, You have to do that when you're in this type of game, man. You have to surround yourself with some real camaradas and some real brothers. With that, I say respects, man. You vatos did that. Anyways, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about coming together, people, so we can go out there and get it for our familia, so that way our children have more than we ever had. So I didn't have too much. You know what I mean? Wait up. Did I have a Nintendo? I think I did. But I got locked up. So I fast forwarded that motherfucker. Here, I told my brother, you can have it by ourselves. I'm going to prison for murder, right? And that's just what it was, right? I hope that you go out there and you get it. Get it for your familia, because they really fucking need it, and only you can do it for them. If you like this, please hit that like and subscribe with that thumbs up one time for your mind. If not, and a lot of people don't like me, you can hit that thumbs down, heavy as the head that wears this crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle for what I truly believe in, and that's the coming together of all people. Again, remember, if you haven't tapped into yesterday's conversation with Cartoon 5-3 Avalon Crit, man, make sure you tap in. It was a very good one. Again, man, I send my respects, and I commend the mothers from down south that are doing it to it, right? Pulling up, deep than a motherfucker. There's a whole lot of Mexicans out here, right? Show was, you know what I mean? Bam. Better call a taco truck, right? Because we need tacos de carne asada con todo. Bang, motherfucking bang, bang. the gun. Orale.